Hey, if you're thinking about starting an agency this year, or honestly any type of business online, then this video is for you. This is the video that I wish that I had had 8 years ago when I was starting my social media marketing agency with Derek. I've got 5 pieces of advice that I want to give you today. All 5 of them might not be relevant to you at this very moment though, so take these lessons and maybe save this video to your watch later so that you can come back to this video anytime that you feel discouraged or lost on your way, because entrepreneurship is a long-term game. Oh, and before I jump into this really quick, I just want to let you guys know that Derek and I just dropped a free SMMA course inside of our new community that's completely free to join called Growth Club. We literally walk you through everything that you need to do to start your agency in a weekend, and it's exactly what we did in one Saturday afternoon to launch our own social media marketing agency and scale it to 7 figures per year at this point. The first lesson that I want to give you guys today is that you just need to start. When I look back on the wild journey that Derek and I have been on over the last 8 years of running this now 7-figure agency, there's something that scares the living shit out of me. It's amazing how easy it would have been for us to actually never even start our social media marketing agency. We could easily be back at our 9-to-5 jobs, climbing the ladder to corporate burnout, and forever wondering if we had what it takes to be successful entrepreneurs. I remember several deep, lengthy conversations between Derek and I when we were weighing our options. We had both started businesses in the past, they had failed, and we were questioning not only the viability of the SMMA business model back then, but also ourselves. If you're watching this, maybe you have that exact same question in the back of your mind. Well, let me tell you something. In the wise words of Casey Neistat,
the only thing in life that stands between you and everything you've ever wanted to do is doing it.
the only thing standing between yourself today and doing the things that you want to do with your life is just doing it. I've also got some bad news for you. The fact that you have these types of questions in the back of your mind, wondering if you have what it takes to be in entrepreneurship, wondering if you should start a business, means that you're different than 99% of other people. Most people don't think to start a business. It just seems that way because a lot of people are doing it these days, and you're following this type of content online. You're seeking out this type of content, so you're being shown this type of content, and you probably think that everybody's an entrepreneur, but they're not. The reality is these questions are never going to go away. You only run the risk of burying them deep down inside yourself and never following through on your dreams. I'm going to be honest with you. If you don't start the agency that you're thinking about starting or the business that you're thinking about starting, these questions are going to haunt you forever. They're not going to go away. Lesson number 2 is you're not going to have all of the answers. It's a common misconception that in order to start a business, you need to have the perfect plan. Since starting our agency, I've spoken with thousands of entrepreneurs. Do you know what none of them had? A perfect plan. Do you know what almost all of them had in common? The business that they originally started and the vision that they had for it is drastically different than the vision and the business that they're running today. 8 years ago, there were no courses on how to start an agency for us. There was limited information on how to actually start a business. It's actually funny to think back on, but in getting started with our agency, our biggest challenge in the beginning wasn't actually getting our first client. It was silly, basic questions like how do we pay ourselves and things like that. Our agency was literally making thousands of dollars per month before we even had our own business bank account set up. If you're stuck in analysis paralysis for a while and you've been thinking about starting a business for a while and you just haven't yet, you're probably worrying about step 20 when you should be worrying about step 1. I just mentioned that Derek and I put out a free SMMA course, and this is exactly what it's designed to help you with. It's designed to eliminate all the questions, have you focus on the essentials so you can put one step in front of the next for the first couple of days and actually get your business up and started, which is the single biggest thing that's going to hold you back from launching your agency. Message number 3 for you guys is it's not going to be easy. Actually, hold up a quick second. I'm going to make my point, but I'm actually going to circle back to that phrase in just a moment. A lot of people seem to want to make it seem like it's super easy to start a business these days. And honestly, a lot of that has to do with them selling you something or selling you some sort of course. Starting a business is not easy. If it was, literally everyone that you know would own a business today. And how many people do you know that actually run a successful business? Running a business comes with questions, uncertainty, doubts that you're just never going to ever encounter working a 9-to-5 job. Ever. That's just the way that it is. Derek and I were about 18 months into running our agency at a point that I distinctly remember. We'd left our 9-to-5 jobs. We were both making 6 figures, doing very well for ourselves, but wondering if there was something more to life. So we were living off some of our savings as well, and that savings was starting to diminish quite a bit. There were weeks where that I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to make payroll unless we miraculously found some sort of client or some client paid us in advance or something. It was stressful as hell, and honestly, there were many times that I was wondering if we were making the right choice. The comfort of a 9-to-5 and going back to a corporate life honestly seemed pretty comfortable, and honestly, we both, I think, really considered doing that at a couple different times, but we didn't. Today, we both make several times more than what our income potential would be today, even if we continuously received promotions in our corporate jobs. It's been hard, but the payoff has been massive. Now let me circle back to the point that I was making at the start of this here. At no time in history has it actually been easier or less risky to start a business. 10 years ago, starting a business was still a massive risk. Very few people were really making an income for themselves with just a laptop. Starting a business back in the day involved taking out a loan for hundreds of thousands of dollars. This meant either putting up your entire life savings, all the money that you had saved, maybe you'd have spent decades in the workforce to take a gamble on starting a business. Serious kudos to entrepreneurs back in the day that had the balls to do that. Today, with the internet and the digital renaissance that we're all living through, you can start a business today with a laptop and a couple $100 investment. The risk is incredibly small compared to what it used to be. Never before in history has this been the case, and I'd encourage you to not take it for granted. Lesson number 4 that I want you guys to take away from this is that help is there if you need it. As I mentioned in my last point, at no point in history has it been easier to engage and meet and learn from other entrepreneurs. The biggest challenge is obviously weeding away the good advice from the bad advice, but the good advice is there. There's communities like Growth Club that is linked in the description down below with thousands of other agency owners on the exact same path as you. There's courses like our program, the SMMA Blueprint, that can help you answer questions and steer you along your path that it didn't even exist when we were starting our own agency 8 years ago. There's people that you can reach out to. There's ways that you can ask for help. There's YouTube comment sections that you can ask that we respond to as best that we can to every single question that comes through. You don't need to go it alone these days. There's so much help out there, free, paid, whatever you want to do. Everybody wants to see you be successful. I want to see you be successful if you're watching this video, whether you buy one of my programs or not, or avoid even having to have one altogether and to build the agency that unlocks the life of your dreams. Point number 5 that I want to make is don't give up. There's been times on our own journey, it's easy to look at us and say, geez, these guys are crazy successful with their agency. They must have all the answers. They must have it all figured out. Every single entrepreneur that is successful has had these questions. Elon Musk has these questions. Jeff Bezos had these questions when he was starting Amazon. Every single business owner that you will ever meet at some point has doubts, whether it's about starting the business, running the business, or what they're doing with their business. And anybody else that tries to tell you that they don't is lying to you. The single thing that makes business owners successful is not giving up. When others throw in the towel, the ones that are successful stay the course and continue on their path. If Derek and I had said, hey, you know what, this isn't for us, we never would have seen our agency become what it has become today. That's the game, that's entrepreneurship. And if you're looking to start with your agency and you have questions and you've been sitting on the sidelines, overthinking it, thinking about getting started, that free course in the description down below is where you want to go. You'll also be added into our community of agency owners. At this point, it's over 1,000 agency owners, which is just crazy to me. So join that, ask questions on the message wall, and we'll see you inside Growth Club. Great video to watch after this one would be this one right here, where Derek also walks you through top to bottom, start to finish, how to start an agency this year.